Hey, we're live.
Hello.
Morning, Cubbo.
Hello. I'm Shelby Fall.
So it looks like it's
Hello.
frozen up.
I'm Shelby Fall. Hello. I'm Shelby Fall. Oh.
It's glitching, huh? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like how it glitched on me like that.
I know it glitched twice in the first 22 seconds. Wonder if that's just gonna be how it's gonna be today. All right. Well, Scotty's gonna be busy in the backyard, but he's gonna pop in and out, so that's all right. Hi, Scotty. Tom's Food Factory. What's going on? How you doing, buddy? Says he just finished making breakfast. Rusty's in. Good morning, Rusty.
Someone said let that be.
Bye.
That wasn't as exciting as I wanted it.
Yeah, you didn't have it up high enough. All right. So we had a. What are you doing today, Cub? Cub takeover. Wayne, what's going on, Big D? Charlie? And we locked up again. There we go. I don't know what Cub was doing.
It's the thing's in the red.
Huh?
It's in the red.
Shut off your burner. All right. Now what's it doing?
Still in red.
You got to open all the way?
Yeah, I have it open all the way.
All right. Turn it back on. Let's run her out. I'll have to go get some more today. Big D, what's going on?
Smells like damn. It really smells like propane over here.
Is the other one on?
No, that's off.
All right. Well, looks like I'm going to have to go get more propane today. I knew it was coming up. It does smell real propane-y.
Yeah, I don't want to. Dad, will you come look at it?
Oh, my goodness. This is a Cub takeover or hijack?
Might be a little bit of both.
Nope, everything's tight, so you know, maybe out of gas there.
Yeah, you shut up my burner.
Yep. Well, run it until we're out of gas, Cub. Just make it quick.
All right, bet.
I don't know. Everything's tight, so we'll see. We could end up doing just a coffee and chat. I don't know this internet thing. Keep glitching. Honey Badger, what's going on, buddy? Yep, we have Faye's not doing so well today. What's looking for? The Smasher.
No, the thing we put over.
The dome?
Yeah.
It's down at the bottom. Let's see. Gas leak. Show over. Bye, all. Well, Tom, you always wanted to see an explosion. What are you looking for? What are you doing?
It's not what you.
Right behind you. In the back. All right, so what have we got going on?
Chaos.
Yes, absolutely. And this isn't even his show. What are those?
Hush puppies.
Okay. So we were blessed the other day. The neighbor lady come down and she always asks for rides and stuff like that. You all know she's interrupted our shows more than once. But she come down the other day and she said, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And I was like, "Uh-oh, what's up?" She said, "I don't need to go nowhere." She said, "But I got to talk to you." Like, all right. What kind of serious like?
So all it keeps going. It's like an oven.
So I was like,
so
"What's going on?"
Top of the hush puppies,
and she said, "Well,"
and all it keeps going to get stuck in these. And then
my daughter is getting some new, wants to empty the freezer. So I got to get everything out the freezer. She said, I know you be cooking a lot, so you want some of this. I was like, yeah, I'll take this. So I said, we'll go down and look. And we go down, and Pat and I go down. And we brought home like 4 big bags full of stuff. I mean, she emptied the freezer. So we shared the blessing that we was given, and passed on to a couple other households. So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. So Hush Puppies was in that mix of stuff that she sent down. So fried up a bunch of hamburger. We got cube steaks I got to cook because I thawed them out. But
do you like cube steak?
I don't want an explosion, just pretty flames. Well, all right, Tom. We're trying to accommodate. I think we're just going to be out of gas soon. That's all. I don't have another tank ready. So, no idea, but the show doesn't show up on my YouTube feed or subscription feed. If not for the alert, you wouldn't be able to. Really, Charlie? I don't know, man. YouTube doesn't push my content because one, I'm not searchable, and 2, I don't know. I guess I'm uninteresting. I mean, that happens. We've talked about that before. I'm kind of like the guy that you comes on after the video you watch until you find the next video you want to watch.
Oh, Dad, I have a drink for you to try.
So, what's that?
It's in the refrigerator, but it's a drink that we got when we went to the G Mart. I want him to try that drink.
I was hoping this was not going to be the cats in the freezer story. No, surprise. She's not into cats. She's not into cats. But she did have like turkey necks and a bunch of chicken, and we got some vegetables, a lot of pot pies. They had some freezer meals. So it's just a lot of stuff, and we kind of, we dispersed that to other households. So, but we shared the blessing that we were given. There's Centrin Charlie. I wonder, Charlie, if you've got the YouTube for kids on, because I'm not kid friendly. I tell them I'm not kid friendly. Like I always click on this, not made for kids. The feed's not working on the Fire Stick, but the phone's is on the laptop. I don't know. I don't know how all that works. No cats, neighbors though. Who knows? Yeah, I was surprised. She blessed us very well. But she said, I don't want nothing left. Her daughter wanted everything gone. So, okay. Yeah.
It's freaking big.
So we got Cubs Bo in the studio audience today. You gotta speak up.
Hello.
I'm so Duval.
He helped me, kind of helped change the alternator yesterday.
A lot of that did come from Conti.
Yeah, they were out Friday.
Yeah.
And she calls and says, "Hey, the battery light's on. What do I do?" And I said, "Get your butt home." Really? I said, "Just get home." So they got home, and the battery light means that there's a problem with the charging. So we had enough battery life left to run it down to the Advanced Auto down the street. The man tested the battery, it's dead. So we jumped it off. He tested the alternator. It was at a 6, where it's supposed to be like a 14. And so, bad alternator. The price of alternators now, holy crap. Man, I tell you what, the price of alternators is absolutely amazing. So they're twice as much as over twice as much as a battery. I mean, so I wasn't prepared to do that with my second cup of coffee. So that's how yesterday went. And then they all had to order from another store, and then a friend of ours just closed on a house, so she was like, well, I need help moving a couch. So we went and got the truck and moved the couch and picked up all the parts, took the truck back, then come back and started working on the alternator. The boys had started it, and they had got, how far did you get?
To that bolt we were screwing.
So they got the top bolt out and got it all unplugged, but it was the bottom bolt that was stuck. They couldn't get to. So, of course, I get in there and I'm like, all right, well, let's mess around with this, and I end up rounding off part of it, a lot of it, and so part of my comprehension, troubleshooting, problem solving is still not come back from being radiated. So, Rack Daddy, what's going on, brother? Long time, buddy, long time. How's the fan?
It's not an omelet, it's like a taco. Look at it.
There's Scotty. So yeah, we did that, and then we started fussing around, and then I finally was going through stuff, and I asked the neighbor, hey man, you got any idea on what to do with this? And he was just shy of a torch, but I ended up finding these things called bolt outs. I don't know if y'all remember, way back in the day, Craftsman came out with these things called the screw outs, and they were supposed to be, if you ever stripped out like a Phillips head screw, you could stick these in your drill and flip it up and back it right out. Well, I always had trouble with it, never got them to work. But right after that, they came out with a thing called the bolt outs. And I remember my mom was like, hey, you got to have these. You got to have these. So we bought them. I've probably used one in the 30 some odd years I've had this thing. And, well, my neighbor was talking about this stuff, and I said, you know what? I think I got that. Hold on. I went and dug it out.
He was looking pretty and top of.
So I went and dug it out, and turned out that's what it was I needed that, and
outside, flip them over.
He's like, man, you got it. So we got that bolt pulled out. I mean, it took a lot longer, and so anyway, on the agenda is the oil change today, and then I got to put on the landscaper hat and cut grass, string trim. If I feel like it, then I'll do some tree trimming, but had that happen last week. Battery died. Also, check engine light, needed spark plug, engine coil work. Ew. It's been I mean, this car's been good to us. I ain't gonna lie. We ain't had no issue out of it. And it's a 2000 zoom. It's 2012, I think it is. Scion. And it hasn't given us any trouble, so this I'm okay with.
At least it looks pretty cool.
I'm okay with having to do a little work on it. Something I can do, which was good because, but I had now the two guys that I'm I'm referencing aren't watching, I know, but I have to send them a message later. The two guys that got me started working on cars, their voices popped in my head when I grabbed the channel locks and vice grips. Their voices popped in my head saying, "It's going to be a bad day if you got to get out the vice grips and channel locks to work on a car." So that happened. I'm not going to deny that we got out the vice grips and it didn't work, or the channel locks.
All I will say
Multiple
is
sizes.
battery acid, bones.
Yeah. So
Bones.
anyway, we got the alternator done yesterday. They were going to do the oil change, but they decided they were hungry instead.
Which do you blame us?
So we got that to do today, and then go out and cut grass and string trim. But anyway, that happens. So Scotty, I know you're kind of in and out. I sent you a picture on Messenger of those wheels for the Weber kettle. I don't know if anybody else has seen them, but they're hot rod wheels that you can unbolt the Weber kettle wheels and put these on. They look pretty cool. Frack Daddy's having his first cup of coffee. Man, I'll admit there, Frack Daddy, Mr. J, I went back and was looking. Excuse me. Watching your old Alpha Store video from the Tacos Are Life. Yeah, I'm trying to get up to doing a Alpha Store video. I've done several, but not like making the sauce from scratch, like the way you did it with the dried chilies and stuff like that, rehydrating. So I got to do. So I was watching that, trying to get your recipe down and trying to find everything. Yeah, Jared's been doing it. He was doing a lot on TikTok. I don't get on TikTok much anymore. I'm getting very bad about even being on my phone unless I'm video. I think Rusty can attest to that. Yesterday, he sent me a text, and I didn't see it or respond for, I don't know, what was it, 3.5 hours or something. Seems like my car only breaks down when it's 20 below. Summertime, it runs good. That's a good thing. So it looks like Rusty's trying to think here. That's his thinking emoji. Good life. It is. I am not a mechanic. I mean, I know enough to get myself in trouble. And then back when I used to live in Ohio, I had a couple guys I could call, and I'm like, "Hey, car question," and they're like, "Oh crap, we'll be over after work or whatever." So, I can still call and ask them stuff, and I try to YouTube as much as I can. And like yesterday, while we were at the advance,
Oh no!
we out.
Yeah, in the middle of my omelet.
Well, that made it 20 minutes.
Hopefully.
You might have to take it inside and finish it off. So we're into a coffee and chat. Let me turn the camera around, I reckon. While she cleans up.
Leave that open a little bit.
Yep. You can cut the door. Let me spin this around. All right. Well, I told you the Cubs had a plan. Let me change the camera angle and we'll talk.
All right, guys.
USB.
No.
There we are. Pull this down a little bit. There we are. New Now we're doing a coffee and chat.
That's some bull.
Wish I had car knowledge. Yeah, and so these guys used to help me out a little bit, and I can do an oil change. I think we're gonna see. I've done it once, not on this car though. So we're gonna try that, and then we're done the alternator. Right after brain surgery, I did an alternator on the Kia Optima. It took me 3 days. And then I did it was probably months after we did the
No. Go back
radiator
inside, right?
swap on the
Go.
Kia Soul. And my neighbor, when he was laughing because I said, yeah. I said, he come by and he saw that I was doing the radiator swap. And he said, what are you doing? And I told him we had a cracked radiator. And he said, good luck, and left. So he didn't even help me with that. But it was good. He came over, he helped out. And, and the hard part for me was, I'm sitting here going, my comprehension skills aren't there. Like the troubleshooting, I was there, and then it just faded off. Like lost complete interest, and it took me a while to come back to it. And
this is some BS.
so it was kind of, I don't know. It was just hard realization, I reckon. But that's what happened. So not quite ready to get back. I don't know. It was just kind of rough, a rough go. Sitting here thinking about it, and I was like, man, I should have known I had this stuff. But anyway, let me see if I have. There it is. So Craftsman came out with this set somewhere in the 90s, right? Little box. You open it up, and it sees. They're called bolt outs. And this is what actually saved my bacon yesterday. So the only one that had been used was this one. All the other 4 had never been used. And now I actually used the one yesterday. Y'all remember these? I don't know. They were really big, somewhere in the late 90s. But kind of a cool thing to have. Probably going back to the tires. I'm kind of behind on comments now. Make friends with the voices time. I tell you what, man, there's many years where, me and the voices, as long as we were getting along, it was going to be a good day. Break out the charcoal. Yeah. Probably could. Move it over to the driveway. Leave it in. Yeah, because she had a pretty thin one, but she's got more batter. Or more egg mixture she was going to make. No mistakes, just happy accidents. Hey, this is live cooking. This is just real life, right? So, Stephen and Jacqueline's in. I don't know. This camera's this whole thing's acting funny. I can do simple stuff, spark plugs, coil. I haven't done spark plugs since my 2000 Cherokee. Engine coils, I've never done that one. My level on car because the engine setup, need to remove the manifold and other crap. It gets into some stuff, and I'm like, if it looks easy and it's a 12-minute video, that's a 6-hour process. That's what I get. Steven and Jacqueline, what's going on, brother? Cindy, how is Cindy doing? All right. I see you guys have been nailing these interviews. You got some good conversations going on in your interviews. I like that. This is what like about live cooking. We got to call an audible and go on with it, right? So, yeah. Scotty, that you guys remember I was talking last week about that chicken holder, the beer can chicken holder that looks like a motorcycle. It came in. So I've not done the unboxing yet or the first cook. That'll be coming up. Spark plugs are a pain on these modern vehicles. I don't know. I haven't done those. Fortunately, I've just had battery alternator issues that I could fix. I haven't done spark plugs, like I said, since my 2000 Cherokee. And the old 79 Chevy way back in the day. Let's see. That's about it. You know, changing tires, plugging tires. I can do that. I can do a radiator on a Kia Soul. I got to watch a video on it, but I can do that. What kind of chicken holder? Tom, I'll have to send you a picture because it's in the house. But it's a stainless steel cutout of a motorcycle, and the seat is like the beer can chicken holder. So it comes with stainless steel sunglasses. So when you set this chicken up on the beer can holder, you prop its legs up and you put the wings up so it looks like it's riding a motorcycle, and then you cook it that way. You put the sunglasses on. Yeah, that's what it is. So I saw that, and my inner Scotty and my inner child just laughed and laughed and laughed. And the one I got is the American one. I say that in quotes because the engine has like a flag that's waving, and then it's cut out in the stainless steel, and then the tires have stars. The other one that they were selling on Amazon had skulls and crossbones in the tires, which I thought, oh man, that looks awesome. But it had like the Canadian maple leaf that was like in flames. So you had half of it, and then it was like flames. I was like, I mean, nothing wrong with Canadian. I don't know any, but I watch a few, and nothing wrong with that. But so I got the Stars and Stripes. No joke, Steven. Yeah, cars is just, and now they're going all electric, so it's going to be even worse to work on. We were talking with my brother-in-law works for Honda up in Ohio, and they're changing their lines over to all electric stuff. So I think he said by the first of the year it'll be all electric. They won't be making any more gas engines. So my dad's 94 this year. Old cars are better to work on because they knew where everything was. Yeah. Rusty was talking about his Nissan Titan's he went to get it was a starter, and you had to pull half the manifold apart. I want another new vehicle to work on. They get hacked via the internet. Oh, I'm looking at an 85 Wagoneer tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, I don't know about the whole. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they had a Criminal Minds about that, where a guy was hacking into a smart car, and yeah, D, you're Canadian. I know that, man. I say I watch Canadian guys. I like them. But the I forgot where I was going. The cost of parts is cheaper than the cost of actual labor. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at just for that alternator alone was over $400. The guy gave me all kinds of discounts and stuff, and with the core charge, which I got to take the old one back, I'll still be at $420. Yeah. Before I had the second cup of coffee. So, not a good start to a Saturday. But, I mean, if I would have taken it to anywhere to work on, they would have tacked on another $100, $200 just for labor, you know. So, I tell you what though, there is something about all the Canadians that I've met online and whatever. They are fantastic. They're super nice, and I like that. And that's what I really like about being in the South is Southern hospitality. It's hard to beat, man. You can't beat that. I try to do my own car repairs if I can. And it all depends on what it is. Like, we blew a motor in one car. I don't know how to do that. You know, I could have bought another motor and swapped it out cheaper than buying a new car, but I don't know how to do that. I have to take the top off the engine to get to the starter that's mounted under the intake manifold. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't even know. The French have an ancient, I can't even pronounce that, that was famous for teens repairing it with paper clips. I have no idea what you're talking about, Charlie. But Terry's in. How's it going, Terry? Mad Buddha. Everybody's saying hi. Oh, there's my pop-up. Hold on, let me get rid of this pop-up. I don't know where'd it go? Did we lose the live? Sure did. Shoot. Come on now. I don't want that. What the? I don't know. This thing's just doing some weird stuff today. I don't know. I'm sorry. This computer, I don't know. Doing some weird stuff. I don't know. Let's just say the French-made vehicles are just different. The other issues modern cars is electronics. Yeah, because like I remember when we were checking we had a battery guy, and we were checking to see if it was the alternator. You know, when you take the this was on our 2017 Kia, and you take the negative battery off, and if it stays running, your alternator's good. If it dies, then your battery's or your alternator's bad. The guy told me, don't do that because you could damage your computer. I was like, what? Okay, well, that was, so I don't, now I just take it down, have him check it. Because I don't own a voltmeter where I used to have one. Rusty gave me one, and it worked somewhat. But, you know, to put the meter on to see where you're at and all that, so I can do that. change the spark plugs on the wife's car, you have to pull the intake. I don't know. I guess because then you got to change the gasket, right? The RTV it or whatever. I don't know. I do have relatives in parts of the U.S. Well, D, I'm glad you're here, man. Car owner's manual would tell you how to adjust valves. Now it tells you to drink antifreeze. Not to drink antifreeze. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. I remember we used to have the Haynes manual. You know, whenever you bought a new car or a new to you car, you went to this parts store when you were getting your initial tune-up stuff, and you bought the Haynes manual. That way, that book told you how to tear everything apart down to nuts and bolts and put it all back together. I remember doing that. I remember having that book for a couple cars. But then once we went to north of 2000 in the years, you couldn't get them. Modern vehicles manufacturers want you to come to the factory. That's it. I mean, yeah. And then they want you to come in for just like the simple stuff, and you know. But I was looking at we need an oil change for the Zoom, and it's to go to the Take 5 place for the Zoom is $75-$80 just for the filter and the oil. So we were at the Advance yesterday waiting on the battery charge, and I just got pricing out. And I was like, it's $45, and don't take that long. So yeah, so for $45 we're going to do it. So I just don't have them little fancy stickers to put up in the window. You know, the Bear Cave Auto Mall or something like that. Let's see. Oh, Terry went to school for working on cars. Okay. That's a trade that I would like to have, but I don't know that I would, because like bending over the car yesterday, my back was screaming. And it's kind of like, well, it's something I'd like to know to do, but I don't know that I'd want to do it on a daily basis. You know what I mean? If one electronic fails, yeah, it could be hard to deal with. Yeah, and I found that out with a minivan, a Ford minivan that I had. The EGR valve, it was throwing a code for the mass airflow sensor or the EGR valve or something. And that code could have been 5 different things. So you picked one and started replacing stuff because you didn't know what it was. So next thing you know, and here it turned out, after I broke a few pieces and put way more money into it than what I should have, it was the linkage on the back fuel rail was going out. Was the linkage itself was splitting. So it wasn't allowing enough fuel to get to the back rail of cylinders. So, but it was throwing up all these other codes. I didn't know what it was. So, hey, I can swap out a sensor. 7 sensors later, yeah. Car talk with Smoking Bear. And I'm not even a car guy, dude. That's what's bad. I know the bare minimum. Give me a pork butt over that. My car needs a push button needle for the radio and 2 keys is for me. Yep. I like having we got a Kia Sorento, and I like it. I look underneath the hood and I'm kind of lost, but I like it. And it's got 1 key, but it's kind of, if something were to happen on it, I don't know that I'd be able to. I just have to take it to the dealer. We were still under warranty for a little while. So people need to understand it all, but the money in a few years from now, we'd be driving like the Jetsons, hopefully. You know what? We were supposed to have the real hoverboards and not those wheelie jobs by this time, and we ain't got them. We ain't even close to like a hovercraft board. And I find it interesting that all these automakers are going to stop making gasoline engines and start making only electric, and they're having a hard time selling them. But the cost of the gasoline engines in the used market is through the roof. I mean, it's $7,000-8,000 for something that before COVID was $3,000. All my oil changes places suck out from under the hood. All the oil out from under the hood. Wear and tear on the oil. That's a good one. That's a good one. Wear and tear on the oil plug. I'm with you. That's a good one. There are things like integrated circuits, and if one of those goes, I don't get into that. I mean, I like watching the off-road recovery guys where they're working on their stuff, and I like watching the guys that do the mechanicing and showing how it all goes together, but I don't understand a lot of it. And yesterday, the troubleshooting and the comprehension trying to get a rounded bolt off, I just lost it. I mean, I was just, and it was really frustrating, like, because it took way longer than it was supposed to, and before the whole cancer tumor stuff, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I would have been like all in, let's do it, let's get it done. Bam, bam, bam. 2 bolts, 3 plugs, done. And I mean, there was a point where I just looked at this thing and I was just spaced out. It was like I was in over my head again, learning, starting to learn over again. So that was kind of frustrating. So, but we got it done. And that's the thing. If you don't put it back properly, they can strip it. And I had that with the lug nut because they put them on with those torque wrenches or the torque guns, and they over torqued it. So then I'm trying to get it off with a pry bar and a cheater bar, and had a lug nut that I think it was jacked up when they put it on, but they forced it on. So coming off, it was a mess. So I don't know how to change the lug nut. So, I changed the nut, but you got to change the threads because it's all the threads are jacked. So that one's a 4 lug and not a 5. So I tightened them down and they're all pretty good. So, say it ain't so you're joking. I like seeing old cars getting restored. Yep. I like seeing the modifications and the things that people are doing, and trying to get a little understanding. But a lot of times I just get overwhelmed when they're talking about, like, they get into a differential, and you're talking about the different with the different bearings and the different gears and all that, and the retainers and the wedges. I just like, what? And then they call them other things, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is. I was watching a guy last night called Junkyard Digs. They were working on an old 1929 Dodge. I never saw a 1929 Dodge. And they were working on it, and Okay, that looked pretty cool. I don't know that I'd be like getting one, but you know, they used to sell hovercraft plans in old comic books. They used to. I remember that. We would go down to the local Jerry Mart, and they would have the magazine rack off in the side by the front door, and you could spin the rack around, and you get the magazines in there, and you could. I remember that. But that was back when the hovercraft was like awesome, and now you don't ever see anything about them. You know, you get like they'd show them on TV and the commercials where you could build your own like and be like G.I. Joe, and they'd show the hovercraft coming up on the beach. Yeah. Fully restored 72 Mustang convertible. You keep asking pick up chicks. So my neighbor that come over to help, he's got a Hellcat, and my wife's like, "Hey, can I run that down to the grocery?" He's like, "No." So Charlie didn't want to lend you the Mustang either. Yeah, Tom, I don't know if Charlie's gonna let you drive his Mustang. Updating firmware on all my probes. What a pain. What? See, that's another thing. Like how barbecues become so much of a science. Because you get so much technology in the Bluetooth and all that stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, I was like, when I just got the top tip, right? Like I was looking at that. And it's a bimetal spring that wherever you set it, as the spring gets too hot, it closes. As it gets cooler, it opens. So it's no electronics involved at all. So, and that's been around. I mean, I saw it back when I was building a UDS in 2012 and thought that was cool as all get out. So I got one coming, and we'll get a good look at it and see, play around with it, and probably should have reached out to the company, but it was like $40 or something like that, and the wife was in a good mood, so. Don't need a fancy cars. Chicks just can't resist a pickle charm. Are you dressing up like a pickle, Charlie? Is that what it is? Do you have a pickle costume? Do you have your logo on a shirt and it says I do my own stunts? Oh, sounds so bad, Charlie. It does. They sold X-ray glasses. Yes, they did. They did sell the X-ray glasses. And so that brings up another point. I was talking with a guy a while back when I was building my Mandalorian helmet. Whatever happened to the Google glasses? That was a thing. They advertised it, and then it went off, and you never heard anything about it. I don't know anybody that's got them. I've never seen anybody with them. Whatever happened with that? Because those would be cool to wear while you're wearing your Mando helmet, so you'd have your heads-up display. I mean, I have Star Wars geek stuff, but inside the helmets of the clone troopers and the Mandalorians, a lot of Mandalorians have the heads-up display, so it's kind of like a video screen that shows like Google stuff and layouts, maps, plans, whatever. But I was just wondering that, and then we saw a commercial last night for, I think it's Pixel. I don't know. It's some new glass thing that they're like. They say the name and it says yes, and then they says take a picture, and it takes a picture of whatever you're looking at. I think that's what it was. Let's see. There's a point where science becomes art. I just really need to know you're doing. I missed that. Oh. There is a point when science becomes art, which is true. Yeah. Aliens. That was a good one. Just really need to know what you're doing. Okay. Oh, Scotty got him. There he is. I remember those things. And it was like, if you sent in like, what was it, 3 or 4 UPC codes and like $3.99 or something like that to this mailing address, you get these X-ray glasses. And I don't remember if they ever worked. Only in comparison to Charlie coming back. Google stopped them because people were complaining about them being recorded while walking down the street. But now they have smart glasses, which do the same thing, and everybody's okay with it. Yeah, I don't know where that all changed. Where we were afraid that the internet was spying on us. The government was watching what 70,000 billion people are doing at one time. And now I know that the algorithms are set up to feed you stuff that you look at on whatever you're looking at, like on Pinterest or Facebook or whatever. They pick up conversations and keywords. So if you talk about the Ford Ranger, like the new Ford Ranger, this happened to me, then for like the next week or two, you're going to see all kinds of ads for the new Ford Ranger and Ford Ranger content to click on. And, because it heard the keywords. The Spy Pen radio. I don't remember that one. I know the Spy Kit. I remember you could get the Spy Kit that had the finger. It was the you could do your fingerprints, but it would like disappear. You really need to know what you're doing. It's a typo. Oh. I used to order random stuff back in the magazines for commercials to have parents size COD and drove them up. You remember, the CDs of the month. You remember that stuff? Columbia House and BMG Music. Man, I was a part of a lot of those. You get like, I don't know, 10 CDs for a month or for a penny. And then they would send you a CD and you'd have to send it back or keep it. And you never knew what you were getting. I remember those. I had a massive CD collection. Random. Oh, yeah, I gotta watch that. I've had to set up the smart glasses displays, and right now Samsung has big hold on it in the market. Okay. Maneth. So I'm taking the Maneth is the brand of smart glasses. Okay. Now, can you cast that up to like a screen, like Bluetooth or whatever? I don't know how they all work. Like stream it, kind of like how your phone streams to a TV. I don't know. Did that with a friend of mine. Okay. Oh, the CDs I have over 300 CDs and I have a lot of signed artists and bands. Nice. I went through a phase where I got rid of a bunch of them. I sold a bunch and never really got them back. So never looked back. And some of the bands, they were one-hit wonders, and then you don't hear nothing from them. And now I can't remember what they were all like. I can't remember some of the bands that I liked that were the one-hit wonders. But yeah, because there was one, there was a band called Arcade, and I forget. I think it was a guy that left Van Halen, I think, and started this band, and they had one album, and it was decent. I mean, it wasn't like, wow. It's kind of like Man of War. You had to like them to get into that. Previous at Columbia House, I got free CDs for you. Yeah, I tell you what, man, I had so many. I remember this one. Well, probably shouldn't talk about that band, but we had a lot. So, but I guess the new Eminem. My wife was telling me about it. The not the candies, but the this is a rapper. Came out with a new album, and I guess it's very, very, very controversial. She was telling me she's listened to it about 18 times. My eldest sibling has a great record collection. Wow. And records they're slowly making a comeback. I mean, you get certain people that are into those, and I mean, I remember looking through the record collection my dad had, old Steppenwolf, and he had all kinds of stuff. But then when I started listening to that kind of music, that rock and roll, he was like, turn that off. You're going to go to, you're going to get into sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I got into the rock and roll and dabbled in a little bit of the drugs, but yeah. I do not remember my first 2 years of college. Well, I don't either, but I went to a tech school and I only took 1 year, so so the second year is a blur. But I went to a tech school and it was a 1 year tech school that is no longer there. That was in '97, and I don't know what year the building. They shut down the college there, the tech school, and tore the building down, and now it's something else. But I don't know when that happened. But anyway, so they did just open up a welding school here across town that I'm kind of intrigued in. It'd be interesting to learn how to weld and do all that stuff. And I know you go to Harbor Freight, buy the welder, and watch YouTube videos and figure it out. And I could do that. I just don't really have that much stuff to weld. I would end up welding more things and more stuff I don't need. So, but that would be an awesome trade to learn. I really think it would. I talking to some of these kids, and we got talking to some kids back home about their future plans after school, and I was like, you get into HVAC and move south. If you're good, you will be rolling in business. That's just that. My dad told me before the Rolling Stones were that the Rolling Stones were garbage. Many years later, he told me he saw them on TV. He said they were good. And some of them, so I remember back home, we had this campground that started what they call a country concert. And they would invite some upcomings, and they would try to attract some of the big names at the time. And it used to be just a weekend. Now it's like a 4 or 5 day, like, events every day. thousands of people go to this campground, and it's a huge party. And it doesn't have to be unless you want it. You know what I mean? I mean, you can go and hang out, whatever. But Garth Brooks was there with his first album. And nobody knew who he was. It was his first album was just coming out. And nobody knew who he was. He got booed off the stage and said, I'll never come back here again. The next year, the dance went #1. He was big name, and Country Concert reached out to him. Hey, you want to come back? You want to come back? He said, hell no. And they've reached out to him, supposedly, I mean, that was hearsay. Supposedly, they reached out to him many, many, many years in a consecutive. He said, nope, I got booed off there. I ain't never going back. And he's never been there. But I saw Leanne Rimes, Clint Black. Well, I saw part of Clint Black. He was playing the one night. He was closing, and I remember the closing show, like the last song. I don't remember anything else. But we've seen some big names. Faith Hill and Tim McGraw they go there quite often. Fort Army Country Concert. You know it, buddy. James knows it. Yep. It's a good time. I mean, it's I don't know if it's as wild as it was when I was going, but I'm sure it's still can be wild. Because a lot of times you could be walking in the back in the campers area and the campgrounds and stuff, and the party there was just as big, if not bigger, than the party inside where the stage was. So, but I know, like my brother went to one year, and he had my dad through his job. They had tickets to get down to the VIP, so they had a VIP tent off to the side, and they could see the stage. And he got his picture taken, I think, with Joe Diffie. I think. Always said when the music you listen to was edgy and is being played at grocery stores. Yep. We were talking about that the other week when I had the radio playing before the live, and I think Guns N' Roses came on, and it was a commercial for the classic rock station, and then Guns N' Roses came on. And Jen was sitting here, and she's like, that's not okay. The stuff I grew up listening to is classic rock, and I was like, well, you know, AC/DC was classic rock, but still popular. And they're still popular. So, saw around 275 concerts. I did see country artists and bands. Wow. The last actual concert, no, I take it back. Well, so I went to, the last big one I saw was White Zombie and the Ramones' final tour. That was wild. We did country concert several years after that. And then we went to a fairgrounds and saw Kenny Rogers at the Miami County Fair. That was pretty cool. I saw a Christian band, Casting Crowns. I went with the guy that I was working with at the time with his church group, and we went to see Casting Crowns. That was pretty cool. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen any. I know I haven't seen any down here, like since we moved south. I just don't get into the big crowds anymore. And especially now with all this stuff going on, I don't. I've never been to it, but they say it's huge. It can be absolutely. I mean, you're talking there could be 100,000 people just on a Saturday, and it's massive. And if you're around a group like the group that I was with, we got into so much trouble. The cops were kind of hanging around us, and we actually got tipped off that we needed to move because they were about to pull the tear gas out on our section of misfits and young groups. I like the Ramones. I didn't get it. My wife was really big into the Ramones, and I'm still not really big into them, but it was cool to say I was there. I don't remember a lot of it, but I was there. Last big concert was Rush at the Red Rocks. Nice. I've heard of them. Saw Rush twice live. Nice. Uncle Steve. Limp Bizkit Metallic years ago. Summer Sanitarium concert. By the end of the night, my ears hurt. Oh man, that would have been an awesome one to see. I used to like Limp Bizkit. You don't see anything out of him anymore, but he just kind of faded away. Have you guys? I mean, it's not Limp Bizkit, but Uncle Kracker. You know his one song, right? The Play Me the Beat Boys, Save My Soul. That song. There's a country song that has that almost the exact same tone, like music to it, but it's a whole different like lyrics and whatever. But it was a country song, and I was like, my wife looked it up, and I really liked that. I mean, I think it was it a Cody something or other, and what's the Jelly Roll? I think that's who it is. When Mr. Big, woo, boy, that's back in the day. Mr. Big, the remake, nice. I'm hoping to see Metallica with Wolfgang Van Halen. Oh, it is crazy that Metallica's still putting out music. I mean, they're one of the bands. Like, I think I heard Aerosmith was still touring. ZZ Top was doing an assisted living tours, or geriatric tour, I think it was. All these bands are starting to come back. Doobie Gray, yeah. So nice. Well, y'all, I think I'm gonna get out of here. We rambled. We ran out of gas and rambled for a while. Cub took off, so I'm not doing an oil change yet. But so we'll get out of here. We'll talk at y'all later, and y'all just be kind. It's cheap. Be kind. Call your mom or your grandma. All right, everybody, we'll get out of here. Drift Away by Dibby Gills in 73. Uncle Kracker remade it. Yeah. I didn't realize that Doobie did it, and Uncle Kracker remade it. But then there's a newer version. It's a different. It's a country version, and I think Jelly Roll's in it. But I was hoping to see Hart, Randy Bachman, 5 times. Wow. They'll probably come back around. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Rock on.
in.